Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I'm going to be your instructor for Comp 2 over the next 8 weeks. I just wanted to send a quick note, to introduce myself. I think sometimes seeing my face and hearing me talk makes things maybe a little less daunting. I know that as you start to look through the course, it can seem like a lot of work. I'm not going to lie, it is a lot of work, but I do believe it's a doable amount of work and that it will cover all of the requirements of Comp 2 that you need to have for all the other courses that you're going to do. It is, of course, taking the place of a 16-week course, so keep in mind the 8 weeks is intended to be equivalent to that 6 weeks, and that is why there is a good amount of work every week. The deadlines, as you should have noticed, tend to be pretty consistent every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. where your work will be due. And a lot of your work is in stages, that almost everything goes through drafts. Everything that you'll turn in for a final grade will go through a draft. You have 2 main portfolios that are your grades. So everything you're doing in this first 4 weeks gets then grouped together and turned in again with the final draft at the end of the 4 weeks. I know that the system can be a little confusing for people at first. I would ask that you trust that many people have gone through this course and done really well with it. If you turn in your work, if you participate, people do fine. Where people have trouble with their grades is in a lack of completion. If you just kind of disappear, if you don't turn in the drafts as you go along, if you don't revise things between drafts, that's where you start to have problems. So as long as you keep up on things and ask me questions when you're confused. I'm generally really good about email. I'm happy to respond to things. I realize, especially in an online course, things can be confusing and unclear, and sometimes I think I'm being clear, but it might not be as clear to you. So always when in doubt, look through the website, look through Blackboard. I've put a number of resources in terms of how to do certain things. So if you look on the left, there's a section usually called like how to write, cite, and format. There's a place to go for help. I'm going to include a section, if it's not there already, called How Do I? And that usually answers a lot of people's questions. So definitely look there first. But if you still can't find your answer, you're confused, then just send me an email, and usually within 24 hours, I'll respond to that email, okay? So the main thing I wanted to do right now is to introduce myself, to tell you not to be scared, try not to be overwhelmed, to realize that, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a doable amount of work. And I think it looks like more than it is once you actually get into things and you realize that everything you're turning in is a rough draft until you get to the end of the 4th week. So if you don't know exactly how to do something, if you're confused, if you don't think it's very good, if you're scared to do it, if you hate peer review, all of these things are valid feelings and reactions. But just know that you get a chance to revise and you get a chance to have feedback. And so the best thing to do is to turn things in. It's much better to turn in something crappy than to not turn in anything, because the not turning in is where people's grades start to falter. Turning in shitty stuff, it's not the end of the world. We've all written shitty stuff. So have that in mind as you start to go through this first week. Please log into Blackboard if you haven't. Please get started on this first week, because once you get behind, it is hard to catch up, and that can be really stressful for people. Stay in touch if you have questions, and I look forward to getting to know you better. And good luck this first week. All right.